I put a quote up yesterday. I posted a quote on my social medias about magnetic exchange. And what magnetic exchange is basically saying is that you and I are always involved in an exchange of energy, no matter what's going on, no matter if we want it or not, no matter if we know it or not. So I'm always picking up your energy. You're always picking up my energy. It's much like atoms, right? An atom can be upgraded or an atom can be downgraded based upon the changing of an electron. So one atom is going to be better off from being around a certain atom, and another atom is going to be worse off from being around a certain atom via the change of electron. I think they call that ionic bonding, something like that. The point is this: the human being, we're just full of atoms. Look at the word anatomy and atom, anatomy, A-N-A-T-O-M. Why? An atom, that's all we are. We're anatomy. So the human anatomy is just a bunch of atoms changing electrons and things like that, and bringing about or influencing other aspects of the body, cells, tissues, all these things. How does this relate to us? Some people might have said to you, you think you better than everybody else. You think you better than us. And you know why a person would say that? They would say it because they feel it. Most times they feel that somebody else is better. And the truth is, and you got to hear me on this, the truth is that if you've done the work spiritually, if you've done the work energetically, if you've done the work in other aspects of life, maybe as a player, can we say that this certain player is better than another player if the numbers that the player produces is far greater than the numbers that this player produces? Can we say that that player is better? We can say, yeah, of course that player is better. When you compare like Michael Jordan to a lot of these players, or Kobe Bryant to a lot of these guys, they are better. So it's not about if somebody thinks that they're better. You can feel it and you can see it. But because of the shortcoming, because of the self-esteem, somebody would say, you think you're better than me? And the answer is yeah. Because the work has been done spiritually, the work has been done energetically. So herein lies the point. The point is that you've got to watch who you are around, because you're a collection of atoms. And that collection of atoms means that the energy from another person is affecting you. So it's not about if I think I'm better than you, it's that I've done the work. I'm saying this is how you have to internalize it, and you have to understand it to protect yourself. I've done the work, and so I don't want to go back down there. I'm not looking to have that on me, because in a connection, if you know that what you do is far more superior, where's it at? I put it somewhere. Let me show you. Let me look this up, because this is important. I put the quote. I put so many quotes up in a day, and I forget. But the thing is, here it is right here. If you know that your way of doing things is superior and pure, that means that if you know that what you're doing is better than what somebody else is doing, and it's pure, it's organic, without malice, you know that this is the right thing to do, then you typically only stand to lose when you mix with other people, because their purity, your purity, will be stolen from you. Meaning that usually if you're better off than most people, and you know that what you're doing is right, and you try to mix and, look out, you try to help where you think you're helping, but you think, oh, it doesn't mean anything. I'm here. I've done the work, and they're here. usually all that work is going to get mixed in and you're going to be drained. Usually. This is why it's always best to deal with people on your level in anything. What's the purpose of ascending if you got to descend? If you got to constantly descend, that doesn't mean we're not talking about don't help people, but your most dominant actions socially should be around people that are of energy of the same ilk. I didn't say make the same money, I said the same energy, the same spirituality, of the same ilk. So yeah, if you haven't done the work and so-and-so has done the work, they are better than you. So there's no, you think you better than me. Yeah, they are better than you because you haven't done the work. Not better than you because they're human. We just, oh, this person is a better person than that. No. See, we try to avoid this because we want to soothe the ego. You know when somebody, realistically in your heart, you know when somebody is better than you at something. You know that. So you don't have to play the game. You can play it internally, but externally, you got to be aware and you got to know, like, nah, that ain't. Because you haven't done the work inside. That's what makes a person better. Why does a guy say that this girl ain't on my, she's out of my league? You ever heard people say that? No, she's out of my league. Because internally they know that they don't have the confidence. They don't have the self-esteem. They haven't done anything in life, and so that woman may be out of reach. You know it, and she's out of reach because you're not vibrationally there to match her. She's not out of reach because she looks good. She's out of reach because you know in your heart that you ain't done the work. You know that you're not there. Spiritually, energetically, mentally, and sometimes financially. So, yeah, there is a such thing as some people being better. They're better than you because they've done the work. That's why they're better. And so it's important for you to, as you do the work, to understand which situations benefit you, because this is how you get harmed. You get harmed this way because you don't understand that now your energy is of a different level. And to keep from constantly getting drained, you have to maintain yourself with people on the same vibration as you continue to ascend. Primarily, doesn't mean you can't be around people and all that, but primarily, you want to be to a point to where you know, like, this situation, this is not for me. While they may be a so-called good person, they may not be good to hang around, because just like those atoms, you're going to be upgraded or downgraded based upon the collection of energy that you are always around. Why do the work? Why do the work if you're going to continue on a certain paradigm? Just don't even do the work. Just stay down here, because that's worse for you to do the work, to ascend, to go back down. Now you're playing with people. Now they got to look at you up here. Now you're playing around with people. They got to just look at you, and that's what's going to create the envy. That's what's going to create the jealousy, because you're around people that are not on your level all the time. See, you could fix things. There's a lot of things that people can fix. Somebody might say, well, nobody, who's going to live in the hood? What's the purpose of me working on myself and improving? What's the purpose of that? What is all this? You can't use that on. I'm not a person that you can use that on. And people should understand that. There's no, oh, he left the hood. Yeah, of course, so-and-so left the hood. Of course you're going to leave. It's danger. It's poverty consciousness. There's a lot of things. So it takes work to rise up out of that. But if you stay there after you've quote unquote made it, now you become a target because you're clearly not like everybody else. And this is an example. I'm using this example can be applied anywhere. Once you've ascended, you've got to be around others that have ascended mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Financially is good as well. But usually people that have ascended mentally, spiritually, emotionally, eventually they come around to where the finances can line up, eventually. Not always. Let me take that back. Let me retract that. But ultimately, you can still exist in a cipher to where it's not a problem. You don't feel like your energy, your resources is being depleted, like you're being downgraded. That's the purpose of working, is to go up. The purpose of working is not to go up and then go down. So there is a such thing. So basically you have to get away. You have to understand, to keep yourself from being drained, you got to understand as you elevate where you are. You got to be cognizant of that. You got to know, this is where I'm at now. You got to be aware, awareness. Too many people mix themselves. They get to a certain point, then they mix themselves with other people that haven't done the work. It's about the work. It ain't about I'm better as a human being. It's about the work. You haven't done the work. So you're not going to understand me. You're not going to understand the things that I'm doing. They're not going to understand you. And then to try to explain is even more, because you got to work on all these psychological drawbacks. But when you ascend and now you're dealing with other people that have ascended, that conversation, you don't have to worry about having certain conversations because it's already understood. Everybody's on the same level. Everybody's on the same level. So somebody is saying, you think you better than me. It's because usually they feel it. Usually they feel it. You've never said anything, but usually they feel it. And so that's your indication that you're in the wrong circle. That's your indication to start getting away from certain people, because then that jealousy, all this stuff comes. So you do have to change your circle. It's an uncomfortable thing. Your circle of energy, whatever people that is, you want to be around like minds. Otherwise, you're going to be drained. You're going to be downgraded, because you're only going to get what they're giving you. And what they're giving you is where they currently are. And eventually, enough of that energy will bring you to where they are. D-Mac, signing out. Peace.